Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
More than 1,000 furious locals attended an anti-tourism protest in Menorca amid backlash at overcrowding, fueled by boozy UK holidaymakers. The mass demonstration on the Plaza de la Biosfera, in front of the island's council building, saw people turn up with deck chairs, towels, and sunshades to create a mock beach for the day on the concrete. Ahead of the protest yesterday, lead organizer GOB Menorca slammed colonizing tourism and in particular Airbnb-style holiday rentals, which have been linked to a lack of affordable housing, claiming, "For years Menorca has been increasing excess tourism and the congestion is getting worse. Colonizing tourism has been gaining ground, first on the coast, then in the countryside, then towns, and now also in our homes." At the protest, locals carried placards bearing angry messages in Catalan. One read, "Whoever loves Menorca doesn't sell it," while another said, "I can't swim in the sea because it's full of boats." Local Pau Marquez, who turned up in swimming trunks under a hotel-style spa robe, said, "Today we're dressing up as tourists so perhaps they'll listen to us." GOB spokesman Miguel Camps insisted the protesters were not anti-tourist. He said, "We're not going to sit back and do nothing if our politicians are not capable of putting the brakes on the tourist saturation." Last month it was reported that furious Menorcan residents living in a resort town known as Spain's Mykonos had chained up their streets in their latest bid to stop holidaymakers intruding on their private properties. The nearly 200 homeowners of Binabica Vale, which lies on the south of the island of Menorca, said they do not want any visitors before 11 a.m. or after 8 p.m. Anti-tourist signs attached to thick rope and chains were hung up throughout the holiday hotspot. Locals there have long complained of rowdy tourists disrespecting their homes by climbing stairs, scaling private balconies, and even entering doorways to locals' homes as they hunt for picture-perfect spots. Binabica, famed for its whitewashed cottages and twisting alleys, can accommodate just 500 permanent residents in the summer, but every year around 800,000 tourists pile in and cause havoc for locals. But recent images show the small town almost completely deserted as several alleyways have ropes and chains hanging between the entrances, with round signs indicating no trespassers. The new blockades are Binabica's first anti-tourist measure, before residents take a vote on whether to ban holidaymakers altogether in August. The latest protest in Menorca comes days after similar demonstrations in Ibiza and Majorca. An estimated 15,000 people took part in the protest in the Majorcan capital Palma on April 25, which led to one of the organizers having to apologize afterwards for abuse directed at foreign holidaymakers. Shocked tourists were booed and jeered by some locals as they ate evening meals on terraces in Palma's Whaler Square. Marchers were also heard chanting "Tourists go home" as they passed through the central square on the 20-minute route to the iconic street Paseo del Born. Campaigners waved banners including one with the offensive message, "Salva Mallorca, Diaris Heroics," which in Catalan means, "Let's save Majorca, foreigners out." On Friday, it emerged protesters are planning a huge demonstration across the Balearic Islands next month at the height of the holiday season, with July 21 put forward as the probable date. The show of unity will see people protest across the archipelago, which lies off eastern Spain, including in Majorca, Ibiza, Menorca, and Formentera. Organizers predict that it will be the largest protest of its kind in Spain since thousands took to the streets across the Canary Islands on April 20. Government officials admitted at the time that 30,000 people had taken part in the Tenerife March alone, but demonstration leaders estimated the figure to be 80,000. Margalita Ramos, head of affiliated group GOB Mallorca, which is set to take a leading role in the organization of July's plans, said, "We are already working on this and are in contact with groups on the other islands. We're hoping those who supported the recent protests in Majorca and Ibiza will take part along with others like tourist industry workers." Tourist overcrowding affects people from different sectors. The reality of the current situation for many people in T.